This is Operation Kingslayer. Listen up. Our field of operation is Bolivia. Dense jungles, freezing mountains, and salt flats. If you don't watch your back, you won't leave it alive. Your target is the Santa Blanca drug cartel. Their network relies on fear, violence, and intimidation. You'll need to destroy them from the inside, destabilize each aspect of their operations, production, smuggling, influence, and security, to bring them to their knees. You have full autonomy. You pick your targets. You decide how to take them out. Just get it done. Gather your intel. Learn who the players are. Learn their methods. Then destroy them. To make this op a real party, the local military force, Unidad, are on the cartel's payroll. They've been fighting it out with a low-rent rebel group called the Qataris 26. You want to survive? These underfunded and under-equipped rebels are your new best friends. You gotta think. You gotta be strategic. No one will come when you call for help. Use what you can to get the job done. You have your arsenal and every vehicle you can find at your disposal. And don't be afraid to throw out the playbook. Each of you is an elite warfighter, but together you have the strength to take down an army. And remember, Ghosts, credit is failure. You will burn the Santa Blanca drug cartel to the ground, but no one will know who was holding the match.
Hello, my name is Dominic Butler and I'm the lead game designer on Ghost Recon Wildlands. In Ghost Recon Wildlands, we offer players the total freedom of choice as they fight to take down the Santa Blanca cartel. A few months ago at E3, our 4 ghosts raided a camp to extract El Pozzolero, a buchon of the Santa Blanca cartel. Today, we want to show you another way to play the same mission, taking a stealth approach and using the cover of night to our advantage. Weaver, Nomad, and Holt are base jumping from the helicopter. This is one of the 60+ vehicles available in the game for you to use as you explore the world. Today, 4 devs are playing the demo in co-op. But Ghost Recon Wildlands is entirely playable from beginning to end, in solo where you're supported by your AI teammates. Weaver has landed on a cliff nearby to gain a vantage point and provide cover for Nomad and Holt, who are now landing and moving towards a cartel checkpoint. All 4 ghosts are now on the ground. Midas will regroup with the others in the camp. Ghost Recon Wildlands features a complete day and night cycle, as well as a realistic weather system which both have an influence on gameplay. Here, for example, nighttime with rainy weather is a perfect combination for a stealthier approach. Ideally, we want to gain access without alerting the cartel, so it's time to be creative. The ghosts know that this truck is being used for local deliveries. If they can take it, they can use it to get into the camp without raising suspicion. Our ghosts are getting into position, now tagging their enemies and identifying their targets. Midas is now using the sync shot feature to assign targets to his teammates. The sync shot makes its comeback in Wildlands and is the perfect feature to coordinate your action with your team. Here we go. And that's a perfect execution. Playing solo, you'll be able to issue simple orders to your AI teammates to achieve the same deadly result. Now Nomad and Holt are going to use the truck to get into the camp without being detected. The cartel recognize this truck, and so the ghosts are in. Holt has jumped out of the truck and is preparing a possible exit strategy by placing some C4. Landmines, frag, flash and diversion grenades will also give you the explosive edge and help create diversions. With more than 50 weapons available in the game that you're able to use and customize with hundreds of different attachments, it's up to you to choose the right weapon for the job. Each of them has its own ballistics model with piercing, dispersion, and bullet drop. Weaver's now deploying his drone to further recon the area. He switched to thermal vision to easily detect local targets. Other special upgrades can be added to the drone too, including an EMP pulse that deactivates electronics, a noise generator, or high explosives. Okay, that's our guy. El Pozzolero, working late into the night. Now that we have his exact location, Nomad is going to park the truck near to the target. In order to complete your mission, coordination and communication are key. Nomad is now in position, waiting for the right moment to grab the target. Midas is heading towards the camp to rejoin Holt and Nomad. Weaver has located the camp generator with his drone. If the team manages to shut it down, they'll kill power in the camp, which will prevent triggering alarms or secondary reinforcements. Midas is now making his way into the camp, avoiding the patrols en route to the generator. Holt is placing more C4 on the other side of the camp to provide further distraction in case the ghosts need it during their escape. The diversion grenade is another great tool that can be used to distract enemies. Since we're attacking this camp at night, we can take advantage of each NPC's unique day and night agenda. For example, this soldier here is taking a rest. back to Midas, who's keeping a low profile to avoid being detected. Holt is making his way towards Nomad and El Pozolero's location. Making sure you don't leave bodies to be discovered is key to preventing the camp going on full alert. You can grab and drag your enemies away from the patrol path, so when you knock them out, they're out of sight. Midas is climbing between the camp buildings to reach a better position. All the while, Weaver continues to provide cover. Having reached the generator, Midas can disable it to kill the lights throughout the camp. Nomad has activated his night vision to get closer to El Pozolero. Now, while enemies don't have night vision, they will become suspicious as to why the lights are suddenly out. Now, we need to extract our target from the camp. The enemies are now alerted by the noise and are trying to find its origin. Holt is passing a rebel prison cage. The rebels are another faction in the game. They have their own conflict with the Santa Blanca, so they'll spontaneously engage whenever they get the chance. Nomad has just put our target into the truck and is moving towards the exit. Weaver is liberating another group of rebels. This camp is now erupting into a full gunfight between the rebels and the Santa Blanca. And to provide further disruption, we blow that C4 we placed earlier. Weaver is now headed to rejoin the others, clearing the last of the Santa Blanca in the wild who were attracted by the gunshots. So now with El Pozolero in our custody, we're going to deliver him to our rally point and learn key information about the cartel and his bosses. That's the end of the demo. I hope you enjoyed seeing our ghosts approaching this mission in stealth. Just one of the many ways you can play Ghost Recon Wildlands. And don't forget to check ghostrecon.com for the latest news and updates on the game.
In dangerous country, you need to adapt, to change. Know when to become silent. Untouchable. When to learn alternate methods. mix up the angle of attack.
It's history.
Or when absolute firepower is all you need. Our allies are the dirt, the grass, and the sun in the sky. We have no uniform. There is no single path. This is why we win. This is why we are ghosts.
Ghost Recon Wildlands is a huge game, and at E3 2016 it was playable for the first time. After battling through the cooperative demo, we had a chance to speak with Dominic Butler, lead game designer of Ghost Recon Wildlands, about the world he's helped create and the freedom it gives players to fight a four-man drug war however they see fit. What of what you're showing are you most excited for players to discover during E3?
It's a game that we're very proud of, and I think that's the most exciting. Rather than a particular feature, they're getting to see that co-op is there, and it's fun, and they see the opportunities in terms of vehicles, in terms of gameplay, in terms of approach. And I think in the longer term, when you can see those opportunities extended to the narrative as well, it's super exciting.
Tackling the game today, we did it a couple of different ways, and it really highlighted that you can do this any way that you want to.
The core thing is really about total freedom of choice, right? So it's about letting the player decide how they want to play, where they want to play, what they want to use, how they want to leverage the environment, the opportunities that are there. But it is a very dangerous and reactive world, so once the alarms start going off, that alarm propagation goes out, reinforcements get called, and suddenly you find yourself not dealing with 2 or 3 enemies, but a dozen or more. They're coming in by armored vehicles, they're sometimes coming in by helicopter, and so things can escalate. They can get really big very quickly if you're not prepared.
At one point, I freed some rebels that were in a cage.
Right, yep.
Can you tell us anything about them?
Yes, so the rebellion is there, they exist in the world. It's really the people of Bolivia that are trying to fight back, because their whole country has been taken over, right? So they're trying to fight back, but they're completely underfunded. There's a corrupt local government that are working with the Santa Blanca, so the people really have no choice, they have no support. And this is an optional benefit that the player can leverage, is to try to help build up this rebellion, to support those rebels. Sometimes in camps you're gonna find cages, you're gonna find them imprisoned. If you can get to them, if you can free them, they're going to take up arms against the Santa Blanca completely systemically. You don't have to tell them what to do. They know where the enemy is. They're going to start fighting back, and it's a way to kind of leverage one faction against another.
And we also put a name to the face of the leader of Santa Blanca, El Sueño.
El Sueño, that's right.
What can you tell us about him?
He's an unpleasant character, but he's at the same time the charismatic leader of the Santa Blanca. He's the one that led them to power. He's the one that brought them into Bolivia and helped them take over Bolivia, turn it into a narco state. But he rules through intimidation, through bribery, corruption, whatever it takes.
They got a beat on us.
So when is Ghost Recon Wildlands coming out?
So Ghost Recon Wildlands will be released on March 7th, 2017.
Ghost Recon Wildlands is playable for the first time at this year's E3, giving attendees a chance to tackle a 2-part mission to investigate the disappearance of 300 people in Bolivia's San Mateo province. Putting a huge emphasis on 4-player co-op, this is a chance to work together as a team in a small slice of Ghost Recon Wildlands' immense open world. And some things stand out more than others. One of the first things we were introduced to in Ghost Recon Wildlands was the portable drone carried by each ghost. Essential for scouting and strategizing, these let us fly freely through our surroundings, spotting and tagging cartel goons and getting a feel for their hideouts. While small and difficult for cartel soldiers to spot, the drones aren't invisible, and getting too close carried the risk of alerting the camp and giving our target a chance to escape. The Bolivia of Ghost Recon Wildlands is not a heavily militarized country, and civilians are everywhere. The cartel thugs love to mix in with the local population, which introduces an element of uncertainty into nearly every firefight. The ghosts are in Bolivia to liberate civilians, so we had to be sure of our targets before pulling the trigger. That said, we did accidentally kill one chicken that was standing behind the guy we sniped. Vehicles are everywhere in Ghost Recon Wildlands, and they're all yours for the taking. And while it's fun to tear off by yourself on a dirt bike, larger transports are a great way to take advantage of co-op, as one player can take the wheel while everyone else leans out the windows to turn cars into light assault vehicles. This is a lot of fun on the road, but even better in the skies, where squad mates can man the machine guns on choppers to light up any threats below. One of Ghost Recon Wildlands' biggest features is that it lets players pick their own approach to missions, scanning the area for threats and reacting accordingly. Want to line up sniper targets as a team and drop 4 guys at a time? That's a good idea, but it's only the beginning of what's possible. In the second half of our mission, we had one job: infiltrate a village-turned-prison called Rosario to grab valuable intel from the warden's laptop. How we chose to attack was up to us, but there were a bunch of targets of opportunity that could make any assault easier. We began in the hills surrounding Rosario, sniping the guards at a few key mortar emplacements and lobbing long-distance grenades to make sure nobody else could use them against us. This triggered the alarms, so we tipped the odds in our favor by freeing the cartel's prisoners who, lucky for us, were rebels who provided a capable distraction. And when the cartel scrambled a chopper to take us down, one of our group's better snipers took out the pilot, crashing it.
Get inside and see what we can find.
That's just one of many ways we could have handled it. On our second run, for example, we all bailed out of our helicopter directly above Rosario. This turned out to be a disastrous move, as it immediately alerted the cartel and nearly tanked the mission because of how quickly we were swarmed. We could have also kept it completely silent, creeping our way to the intel and quietly shooting or choking out any cartel guards who got in our way. Our escape could have been handled any number of ways too, but we always opted for piling into a truck and burning rubber out of Rosario, sometimes blowing up a gas tank just for the fun of it on our way out. It's a huge world of possibility, and it's coming your way on Xbox One, PS4, and PC on March 7th. To find out more about Ghost Recon Wildlands and other upcoming Ubisoft games, keep it at UbiVlog. I'm Michael Raparez at E3 2015, and I'm joined by these two gentlemen. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Dominic Butler. I'm the lead game designer on Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Hi, my name is Nordin Aboud, and I'm a senior producer on Ghost Recon Wildlands.
With Wildlands, you're going into an open world take on the Ghost Recon series. Why is an open world a good fit for Ghost Recon?
One of the things we wanted to do was look at player choice, player agency, and really with the power of the new consoles, the power of the new tech and the PCs that were coming, this was the chance to realize a dream we'd had for a long time, which is to really open it up and give the choice back to the players.
Just by moving into an open world, you explode all the boundaries of tactical, because right now you can not only choose your weapon, for instance, but you can choose your way of traveling, you can choose your location, you can choose the time of the day. It's heaps of options. But you know, right now in the game, all of the missions can be night missions.
And that's exactly it. It's not about us determining, oh, this is a stealth section, or this is the bit where you have to escort the guy, or you have to do a full frontal assault. It's, here's a situation, here's a singular objective, and then it's up to them how they want to do it. They write their own story.
So, what's our next target?
This is exactly the Ghost Recon that the Ghost Recon initial guys would have loved to do if they had the consoles and the PCs we're using right now.
You talked about some of the effects that nighttime you can wait for a night mission, and I'm wondering, Does the way you play have an effect on the world and its factions?
Absolutely. So what we have is a living, breathing world that's happening autonomously, separate from the player. So it's something the player can choose to engage in or not, as they wish.
You can unleash chaos. Strike from every side. Confuse them. Destroy everything.
So we have different combat rivals that have different feelings towards each other, shall we say. Some temporary alliances are there. Depending on how the player engages with these factions, their relationships with each other and with the player is going to change.
How essential is co-op to the new open world? I mean, is this a game that you can play by yourself?
Well, Ghost Recon is a 4 Ghost team game. So even if you're playing solo, we're going to have AI teammates are going to jump in and support you. And then your friends, as they become available, can jump in or jump out of that session.
And this is what we are showing also in our demo and the trailer. We really want to show the fact that you can split and you can do the missions the way you feel.
What can you tell us about the cartel that you'll be fighting? The Santa Blanca, obviously they're very mysterious, but maybe you can shed a little light on them.
There's not that much that we can talk about today. Previously, they were just involved in the smuggling of the drugs, transport out of Bolivia. But they've moved in and have taken over the entire country, turned it basically into a narco state, controlling all aspects of production, intimidation, smuggling, all parts of it. And that's really what the ghosts are there to disrupt and to cause chaos, to try to break the alliances they have with the local government, to kind of disrupt their business.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us, guys. What platforms is Ghost Recon Wildlands going to be on?
It's going to be available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.